My name is Leonard Meehan, and my lifestyle name, scene name, is Master Len. You don't know what to ask.
Were you nervous?
But I'm also considered what you might call a grandmaster in the martial arts world. And it takes a lot of training. And who do I owe most of my training to? My lovely wife. She's submissive. Insisted that I take that leadership role. Now, I believed in women's liberation. I believed that women are equal to men. And that was a little confusing to me at first. She would certainly give me her input, which was valued, but she wanted me to make final decisions. After a couple years, we decided we wanted to move out of the Los Angeles area. So I had an opportunity, and I came in the house and told her to pack. She started packing. I said, "We're moving." I thought, well, she'd ask where, what, how. A day goes by, she doesn't ask. Next day go by, she doesn't ask. I said to her, "Don't you want to know where we're moving to?" She looked me right in the eye and said, "As long as it's with you, it doesn't matter." And a real chill came down my spine because I knew this woman was serious. What we later understood was we're talking about power exchange. I make final decisions. Everything is pretty much my idea. Since my wife is smarter than I am, all she has to do is make me believe it was my idea, and she can do anything she wants. And I'm okay with that. I've been married for 43 years. So about 8 years into my marriage, we became active in in an alternate lifestyle. Starting first with swinging, and then we met some very interesting people. They were wearing leather and carrying whips, and they were a lot of fun and kind of scary at first. And so we became active in what is known as the BDSM scene. Let's take a moment and talk about personalities. And you'll hear a lot of terms like submissive, or dominant, or master, or slave. A submissive personality is just that, a personality, a person who would rather follow than lead. A dominant personality is a person who would rather lead than follow. Submissives can be very capable of being in charge, and dominants can take orders. You also have power exchange relationships where people can consent to give over some of their power and let someone else take a leadership role. That's typically called master and slave relationships, although those are misnomers. There's no such thing as a slave. Legally, it doesn't exist. And the way I put it is dominant is the big dummy that thinks he's in charge, and a master is what they call you when they want something. None of these people are without power. This is opposed to the scene where you see people in an activity we refer to as the top and the bottom. If I'm spanking somebody, I'm on top, they're on the bottom. If they're spanking me, they're on top, I'm on the bottom. So you have all types of personalities. The one requirement is that you have honesty and communication. That is the key. You can get away with not being true to yourself, knowing who you are, or perhaps not completely honest with a partner in a really simple, structured relationship, like a vanilla marriage with just two people involved. But when you expand that to very intense things with lots of people involved, it really requires communication and honesty. And honesty has to start here, with yourself. I define lifestyle as an actual lifestyle, some sort of alternate lifestyle. In the BDSM world, scene or doing a scene is kind of like theater. You're sort of a semi-public, go to play spaces and act out fantasies. There's a lot of concern with people about, do people get hurt, or does it go wrong, or, does the scene go badly? I can say this, that I've been doing this for over 30 years and been in literally thousands of scenes, and not once has anybody been injured, not physically, emotionally, or spiritually. The reason is we are in very controlled environments, and we're control freaks. We hate it when things go wrong. There's a lot of education. There are classes. There are dungeon monitors or dungeon masters or mistresses, I call them dungeon monitors, that also safeguard everyone in the scene. The interesting thing about the BDSM world is that mistakes or people getting actually hurt is really not tolerated at all. Now, that's not to say that things can't go wrong. Two friends of mine, they're married couple. I've been doing this a long time. They were at home doing a little scene. She was tied up to a little what they call an X-frame on the wall, blindfolded. He was teasing her in certain ways. And there was one candle on the dresser. Their cat jumped up, knocked the candle over, caught the cat on fire, ran around the room, caught the drapes on fire. That's where preparation comes in handy. Did he have a fire extinguisher? No. Did he think he needed it? Well, it wasn't a fireplace scene or anything. He didn't know whether to try to untie the wife, call 911, stomp out the cat. The good news is that he stomped out the drapes, the cat ran around and put itself out, and 2 seconds later, everything was fine. Except his wife is sitting there blindfolded going, "What's that smell? Did you burn my hair?" And he was literally afraid to untie her and show her the burnt cat and the burnt drapes. So there is a risk factor in some of these activities. Now ask yourself, why would anybody do any of these things? Why do you go to a dungeon and let somebody tie you up or spank you? What's the attraction? Why do people do it their whole lives? Why are so many people so curious about it? Is it just taboo? Is it just the dark side? Or is there a little more to it than that? Well, once you get into it, you realize it's not as dark as it sort of appears. Then you find out it's kind of just ordinary folks. Sometimes they just want to perk things up a little bit. And then what they realize is there's not only honesty and communication, but intimacy. A level of intimacy far greater than you get with sexual activities. I was in the swing scene for many years, and you can have sex without intimacy. But just blindfolding a person and walking them around where they have to trust you is an intimate act. That intimacy leads to intensity, which leads to a bonding between people. So, for example, couples who get into this find that it strengthens their bond. Then we find out that these activities can be extremely pleasurable. The misnomer is that people are being hurt. So when you combine the wonderful variety, the intimacy, the deep relationships you develop, pretty soon you look around and pretty much all your friends are scene friends or lifestyle friends. For one thing, you can be who you are. You can be yourself around those people. You don't have to be guarded about what you say. That's worth the price of admission. Advanced vibrators, what to do with a vibrator, and beginning bondage are my two most popular videos. The women who did my vibrators one, what to do with vibrators, I set it up and started another dominant personality giving her instructions. And she said, Len, just shut up and run the camera. I know what I want to say. And she talked for 20 minutes. Apparently it was her pet peeve that guys didn't know what to do with the vibrator. I train my slaves to orgasm on command. They orgasm continuously with a command word. Tell them to stop.